Let me take you back to the moment I realized something needs to change. I applied to over 50 data analytics jobs. I didn't get any callback, no interview, just silence was all I was getting. And I later realized that my no callbacks was as a result of no experience, no show of what you can do, just a resume that briefly tells them about you. And I realized that I need to change something. That was when I created my first portfolio. Here it didn't end there. After I worked on this portfolio, I started up the application again. And that moment, my mind was made up like if I apply to this job now, I'll get called. I was even like, these 5 jobs I'm applying to now, which one am I going to? In fact, I started making choice of the one to choose, thinking that all will call me and that I'm going to land this job. But guess what happened? Another silence. No callbacks, no interview. And I looked, I said, what am I doing wrong? I still realized that I need to change something again. That was when I went to my portfolio. And I realized that my portfolio is just there. As my portfolio did not still stand me out. What do I mean? I was just looking for any little thing that I can call project to just include on my portfolio so that my employers will see that I've worked on so many projects and it's time to hire me. But I was getting it all wrong. When it comes to portfolio, you focus on quality over quantity. Not just that, at the moment, I was hosting my portfolio on a website that was too complex. I won't be giving out the name of the website here, but I'll just talk about it. I realized that this website is so complex that when even an employer comes in, they might find it difficult to navigate their way around. In fact, they might find it difficult to even see that project you're directing them to. Because I started sending those portfolios to people I look up to. I'll be like, I sent you a link. That's a link to my portfolio. Please, in your free time, help me look at this portfolio. Help me make corrections. I did this because I was waiting for feedbacks. Because when I was not getting called by any employer, I was not getting hired. In fact, no callbacks, no interview, let alone getting hired. I knew I was doing something wrong again. So when I sent out these portfolios to many people, more than 50% of them came back with the complaints that I can't see your portfolio, I can't find your portfolio. While the 50 that was able to find this portfolio gave me some feedbacks like, your portfolio is so clogged, but I can't find any outstanding projects. There's somewhere like I can see one or two portfolios there. What are other ones doing there? I was like, I want my portfolio to look very bulky. They said no. It is looking so clogged up with nothing to write home about. Do you know what I did? I went back. I shifted from the website that I hosted its portfolio in. I chose a different website, a website that is easy to navigate. Currently, I'm hosting my portfolio on GitHub. That's what I use now. So that is me working on the 50% of people that gave me a feedback that they can't find it. So I changed where I hosted it. And when I got there, I chose a template that is very easy for me. In fact, I start putting myself in the shoes of my employers. If I'm an employer that has more than 1,000 applications and maybe more than 500 portfolios to look at, if I get here, will I have the time to start walking around, looking around, trying to click here, so I can find these projects? No. If I check around and I do not see it, I'll simply trash it and move to the next person. So when I start putting myself in these people's shoes, I begin to make impactful adjustments. So first, when I changed where I hosted it, I included just 3 projects on my portfolio. These 3 projects, I just look at them. I have to just go through all the projects and I chose the outstanding ones and I found just 3. Those were the things I added there. So someone made a correction then where the person is like, when you are introducing yourself, you said that you did not have a data background in your uni, like you were not in computer science or something. What happened to the journey? Why did you live where you are? What goal are you trying to achieve? Why did you even move into data? In fact, why did you come into tech? Why did you choose tech? The person is like, at a glance, they want to say that, even though not too detailed, but just give them a brief explanation of why you did that. So these were the things I took into consideration. I went back, I changed where I hosted the portfolio. Then my introduction, after I mentioned it, I have another tab that is my journey, very brief. But they were able to see why I left where I was, what changed my mind, what motivated me, my goal, my mission, the values, in fact, what impact I'm trying to make. It's there at a glance. And then immediately you click on my portfolio, the first thing you will see, immediately you see my name, my picture, you will start seeing my projects because some people do not care about that journey. Some people do not care about to know you, the uni you went to, and some of those things. Many of them, in fact, about 70% of your employers are looking at the project. So that's why I made my project to be at the forefront of what you will see. Because when you click and you see those projects, if that's what you come for, look at it and go. I'm not taking your time. But if you want to know more, that is when you look at the menu and start clicking on the journey, get to know you, and all other things. I focused on these things because these were the feedbacks I got. And I took those people to be my recruiter, my employer, or the people I have been sending out my CVs and portfolios to. I put those people to be those people. So I was able to get the feedbacks that these people will not come back to give you because these people will not have the time to come back and say, hey, I was able to see your project. I was able to navigate through. I found your site complex. They don't have that time. No, they don't have that time. So I use these people as the feedback to make these adjustments. So after I worked on these things, I applied again. Out of 3 jobs I applied to, I got 2 callbacks for interviews. So here is the thing. Because why I always stop at interview is that is during your interview that you have all the time to sell yourself out there. That is when you even understand what the job is all about. Ask your questions if need be, or if opportunity for it arises. That is when you can do other things. But at least I started getting callbacks. Even though along the line, I didn't settle for most of those jobs, I had to choose what I want, but I started getting callbacks, I started getting interviews, and started getting people who are ready to hire me. So here is the thing in your portfolio. Settle for quality over quantity. And the key takeaways is what I'm listing out for you here. And focus on using sites. Websites do not make it complex. They don't have time. Some of these people even have deadlines from their employers because some of these recruiters are people working for their CEO. So their CEO has given them time. I need you to do this within this time frame. And if you're the one that will jeopardize that thing, they'll just trash it and move to the next person. So that is why I recommend do not make your website complex. Focus on quality over quantity. And another thing, make sure that the projects there are real world case studies. It will help you and it will be so relatable because most of these recruiters, you don't know the background they're coming from. But when you use real world case studies, they won't even have to ask much questions. They'll just get the answers that they need. So when next you're creating your portfolio, make sure your portfolio stands out because resume will be more like if you're applying for some jobs, you find out that link to your LinkedIn profile is optional and your website link is optional also. So let's say 1,000 people apply for that job. 500 will just submit their resume. Then the other 500 will include their portfolio and their LinkedIn. So make sure you are in those 500. And when you hear 500, you know that most of them are looking for like one, two, three. In fact, some are even just one. So in order for you to stand out from that portfolio, just submit everything. Then when they are going through those documents, make sure you stand out by making sure you create a killer data analytics portfolio. So consider this website like being very clear, not complex, then quality over quantity and real world case studies. Work on this kind of projects and you see yourself start standing out. Okay? So join my free community where I share free resources that can help you create a compelling portfolio and get all that free resources that you would need to thrive in your data career. Until I see you next time, my name is Chioma. Bye.